And a good evening to you, rugby fans. Welcome to beautiful Lexington, Kentucky, the home of the University of Kentucky National Collegiate Rugby, bringing you Friday Night Rugby Week 4 as the hometown Wildcats take on the Vols of Tennessee. I am John Roper, joined by the man with all the rugby knowledge, Thomas Wheels Grant. Wheels, beautiful evening for rugby, a beautiful campus.
Yeah, it certainly is a beautiful campus, Johnny, as we see there. Some fantastic next-level rugby shots of the University of Kentucky campus, and really excited for this one. We've had a stellar introduction to our Friday Night Rugby series, a great hat-trick of matches. We are on to number 4 tonight, and this one promises to be a great clash in great conditions.
The Volunteers, the Vols, have made up a 5-hour trek up here, and you can see there, right there, they are ready to play. The hometown Wildcats, champions last year, also ready to go. A formidable side, both building programs. We're going to take a look at some players to watch on both these teams. We will start with the Tennessee Vols. Wheels, talk us through some of these players.
Yeah, well, Johnny, as a good head coach would always say, the hard work always starts up front, so keep an eye out for number 3, Brendan Bibb. Not only is he technically sound at scrum time, he gets through a mountain of work on both sides of the ball. That is with his carriage and his defensive ability, so have a look at him. Number 8, Roman Funkhauser in the number 8 jersey. He will be a dominant force off the back of the scrum. He played in number 6 last week, so it's a different territory for him this week, but look for him to get his hands on the ball on many occasions. And number 10, arguably the most important role in today's modern game, Brendan O'Neill, the man hailing from Aspetuck, Connecticut. He is known for his 50-22, so his kicking tactics could be on show tonight in these beautiful sunny conditions. Johnny, really excited for this Tennessee lineup.
Very good lineup. The Wildcats as well. Plenty of players to watch. We'll start with Raymond Holden Hahn. He's a sophomore out of Charlotte, North Carolina. USA U20 this summer was Hahn, and he is going to be everywhere. Look for a lot of involvement from Hahn. As you take a look at Alex Cole, he's the number 9. In the backs, we have Jack Phillips, the captain. He's a senior. He has got a booming boot from Fishers, Indiana. He's an NCR All-American. He will keep the team moving and keep pressing with the boot into the Vols territory. Out in the wing, on the centers, we have Luke Keogh, his brother Joseph on the wing. Keogh is going to be wearing number 13. He is a speedster. These two brothers have a lot of talent, a lot of experience at Naperville, Illinois. They're very good players, a lot of experience in the Chicago Hound squad, training squad. Keep an eye out for 13 and 14. The teams get ready to go. We're going to look at the lineups for both of these teams. We'll starting with the visiting Tennessee Volunteers.
Yeah, for the Vols, Johnny, we have a look here, 1 through 15 for Tennessee. Again, it is that front pack. Number 1, Jack Oberhofer. Number 2, Nathan Rawls. And number 3, formerly mentioned Brendan Bibb. They are going to be key to tonight's game at scrum time. Number 4, Hudson Shute and Grant Silkwood. Number 5, round out the locking department. In the loose forwards, Corbin Alexander, Nico Zaharis, and Roman Funkhauser, formerly mentioned, round out your forwards for tonight's game. Into the backs now, the 19 combination of Carson Richards and Brendan O'Neill will play a pivotal role in their attacking game tonight. On the wings, Clay Winnick and Joseph Squirlock look to them to decide some outside ball from the back 3. Garrett Salas will wear the 15 jersey. And in the midfield combination, Zach O'Reilly and Michael McGettigan.
Thank you, Wheels. And for Kentucky up front, bringing the graph to the front row of Richard Donlin, Parker Cable, and Jared Monnier. In the engine room, Michael Punzelin and Charles Bear are making that scrum work. Holden Hahn, we talked about at number 7, joined by Gage Curry, and at the back, Everett Maritz. Number 9, scrum half Alec Cole, feeding Jack Phillips, the 10 and captain. In the centers, you have Johnny Dardis and Luke Keogh. On the wings, you have Joe Keogh and Matt Vertis. And taking it down to the back is John Hall, a very strong lineup for this Kentucky side. Those are your lineups, and we are ready for some Friday Night Rugby. Center referee today will be Eric Whitmer. He is joined by Jeff Marshall and Dylan Marshall. You see in there, orange and white are the Volunteers ready to kick this one off. We're just about underway. Friday Night Rugby. They'll be going left to right of your screen, right to left. And receiving this will be the University of Kentucky Wildcats. John Brogan with Thomas Wheels Grant. Week 4 Friday Night Rugby just about to get underway. Referee Whitmer whistles us for the start. And here it comes off of the boot of Brendan O'Neill. He puts it a little bit long. Right in the hands of waiting Wildcat. They're going to move it quick. It's going to come from Merritt. Merritt's going to move it out. They're right to the wing. Look at some speed coming from this team. But caught up from the defense there. Parker Cable, the number 2, took that one in. And they have pod spread across the field, so they're into their structure quick. As you see big Jared Monnier come in there, the senior from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and clean that one up. And they go back to Phillips. Bit of pressure on him, but hangs a high one up there inside the Vols zone. Vol on the move now. Vol tackled right at midfield. Good tackle there by Luke Keogh. Back to the Vols, into the hands of Brendan O'Neill, and he does use that boot as Wheels was talking about earlier. A little positional game going on at first here. There is Jack Phillips. Hangs one up again just inside the 50-meter line. Gets it in the hands of Garrett Salas. Garrett Salas, the first-year player out of Seattle, Washington. We have our first penalty of the game here against the Kentucky Wildcats. Referee Whitmer wants to have a little discussion here, so we will listen in. Just inside the 50-meter line.
10. 4.
Like 4, it was 4.
4.
Like
Shoulder.
Okay. So, mitigate as you will.
4. Alright. To lift. Hand on the shoulder. Very lucky. Alright. 10 minutes.
And it's going to be a yellow card there for Punzlin. They're going to start off for the next 10 minutes in this game with just 14 players in the field. Wheels, pretty obvious there.
I'll whistle it in.
Yeah, certainly was, Johnny. I think a clear-cut decision there for the referee. And to be honest with you, I thought for a brief second it might have even gone the other colour that we don't want to see.
Time
but
is in.
Certainly did not look nice on the replay there, that player landing on his shoulder to head area. So definitely warranted some time in the sin bin there, but Tennessee Vols going to look to put the first points on the board.
O'Neill, the senior from Newtown, Connecticut, lines this one up. He's a lefty, looks within his range. He's got his kicking rhythm he's getting himself into here. First points on the board for the Vols could be on offer. He's got the distance. Assistant referees are happy with it. 3-0 Tennessee Vols over the Kentucky Wildcats. Just a minute and 40 seconds in, and they'll be up by a player for the next 10.
Yeah, great job from the Vols. Again, first points on the board, always super critical in these matches. Nice, fast, physical opening 2 minutes. For Kentucky, really important that they regain their composure, they just restart their mentality and go again.
Phillips puts one deep. Vols now in their end.
Release.
Big contact in there from Michael McGettigan. McGettigan, the junior from Ladera Ranch, California.
Never on the ball.
Just a quick move for the Vols. Another pick and go here down in their own end. A long road to hoe with that as Grant Silkwood takes it in, the senior from Hendersonville, Tennessee. Now they release it from Richards. Come around this left side, double tackle from the Wildcats.
Balls away.
Nearly isolated there. The runner for the Vols coming out to this left-hand side.
Yeah, 1.
Ball ripped away there. No problem, says the referee. Kentucky Wildcats ball. Short-handed Wildcats on the run now. Little pass to Phillips. Phillips has some runners. Brought up by one of the tacklers there. Johnny Darkness takes it up and runs. A sophomore from Naperville, Illinois. A couple of Naperville fellas out here. The big man in 5'10", 305 from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Jared Monnier takes that one in. Referee has a penalty against the Vols this time in a very kickable position. We'll see what the Wildcats want to do. Statement of intent from both of these teams, Wheels. They really want to run tonight.
Yeah, certainly is, Johnny, and a great way for the Wildcats to respond after receiving that early yellow card infringement. Great one-on-one strip in the tackle, and they just played their way up the field. Here's the penalty here. Little short ball there off to Jared Monnier. See here, That breakdown time just was not quick enough to roll out of there, and he prevented the ball from playing quickly. So a clear-cut decision there for the referee.
One of the great things about college sports there is the band. You heard them in the background there, making themselves known here at the Wildcats rugby pitch. This beautiful Lexington campus. Phillips lines it up off the right boot. Phillips finds it. We are knotted at 3. It's 4 minutes gone. Short-handed. They put some points on the board. Always a good sign.
Yeah, absolutely. You mentioned the band, and I also love the beach chair setup that the spectators have got there tonight down in Lexington. We've obviously got the bleachers, but all of the parents, family, grandpas, grandmas, bringing out the beach chairs. And a bit of BYO dinner as well, I'm sure.
O'Neal up to kick again. O'Neal a little more towards the touchline. Holden Hahn comes down. Holden Hahn dispatches of the first tackler. On to the next one. Ball from Cole. Looking to move it to the wing. Did it slip forward? Referee Whitmer says everything's good. It went back. Multiple players in. They're shaping it for a little pick and drive here, and they get it. See, set up 2 right there on that left-hand side. The Wildcats players just Holden Hahn is just holding his shoulder a bit there. So it's just a stinger for this talented young man. The ball comes off to Alec Cole. Cole moves it to Phillips. Phillips launches one downfield, finds some distance into O'Neal's hands. We have a kicking duel between the number 10s right now. O'Neal decides to run this one, shows a couple of steps, eventually taken down by Alec Cole. Cole, another Charlotte, North Carolina product, playing at Kentucky. Ball up to the Tennessee Vols. Vols with a pick and go. Looks to be a pretty big staple of their game. Ball comes back. They have another set of waiting runners. That's Brendan Bibb. Wheels talked about him at the beginning of the game as somebody to keep an eye on. That ball is lost out of there. Looked to me like Cole was a bit offsides when he took it, but it did come out from a Volunteers player onto the Kentucky side. So referee says play on until I say play on, and we've whistled. We're coming back or something. Players offsides against the Wildcats. Penalty for the Tennessee Vols.
Tackler didn't make the last foot before he played it.
Yeah, I think it's been really evident early on that both of these teams are looking to really apply that defensive line speed pressure. It looks like the defensive structure that they're running, really getting up and suffocating those attacking plays. So obviously that puts more emphasis on your meter call or your break behind the ruck to allow that spacing. So Kentucky just infringing on that occasion, but really loving the defensive intensity here as we see on the replay. Just got caught there in an offside position potentially.
O'Neal lines it up. He was true with the first one and true with the second. It is 6-3 kicking duel early on in this matchup. Fantastic game back and forth already for these two teams. It'll be the Wildcats to kick off.
Again, you couldn't really ask for better conditions on a Friday night as well. Hopefully providing all of these fans a great 80-minute spectacle, both on the Rugby Network and at the ground. It's going to be an entertaining one.
High again from the Wildcats. Went back to the Vols. Looks okay. They're going to run this one. Vols looking to find some territory here. The pick and go again. Just trying to dislodge some defenders to find some space. They're getting that momentum. They're getting a bit of go forward with it. Wildcats in there trying to rip that ball away. Neal off of that boot. That was touched by one of the Kentucky players, so they're good to play. But okay there. Alec Cole doing a lot of cleanup work so far in this game. Has had to make a couple of tackles. Little ball out from the forwards. They're going to keep it going. Here go the Wildcats. Cole gets it to Phillips. Phillips going to go off to the right-hand side. A rushing defender on the outside. Shuts that down. So they have to take this one into contact. Cole, Phillips. Taking the ball a little flat-footed at times here so far are the Kentucky Wildcats. Good rushing defense coming up from the ball. Is keeping this attack in check for the moment. As they get it up to big Richard Donlin. Richard Donlin takes it into contact. Cole off to this side. They find a runner down on the edge. They're going to go to the boot. Rolling inside the 22 in the hand of one of the Vols players, but he slips, so has a little more work to do. He gets past the first, rolls around the second, eventually takes a big wallop there from Gage
Ball is
Curry.
out.
Curry back up on defense, and that ball is out according to the ref.
Back.
Grant Silkwood takes it in for the Vols. Ripping that ball away, but illegally so, was Matt
Going on the ball.
Vertis, a senior out of Vandalia, Ohio. Illegal from him. It's going to be a penalty here, and O'Neill will push it downfield. Ball doesn't find touch, so it comes Kentucky. The Wildcats on the move. Right there is Johnny Dardis. Dardis moves it out, but winds up in the hands of one of the Vols players. Turnover. Vols on the move here. There's the pick. This is some of the ground that they're looking for. Taking a run with him is this Vol attack. Ball out there from Carson Richards. And bid into contact. Pick and go coming from the Vols. And another. The number 8 Funkhauser. We have a whistle here.
No, I'm all right.
There's a player that seems to be down and needs to be assessed. Player says he's okay. Referee wants somebody to get a look here.
I tell you what, he got up pretty quickly there to Putka. Cable, the referee, you can hear there, thought he was out cold, but
my back was
he sure got up pretty quickly. He needs to continue. Maybe a quick HIA
He's got 90.
for that man.
He's got 90. All right.
Time is in. Here. Coach Sam Anari, assisted by Gary Anderson, Henry Johnson, Jordan Jurasic for the Wildcats. Sam Anari.
First one. We played 10 minutes.
Well-regarded coach. Referee points out we're 10 minutes in.
Fine.
Going to be a scrum here for the Vols in this Southeastern Collegiate Rugby Conference matchup. NCR Division I AA. Last year's champions taking on one of their rivals in the local conference. Ball looked like it was popped forward from the Wildcats. We're going to come back. Player unbound for the Wildcats. A few penalties creeping in on this Kentucky team, Wheels.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Johnny, just unbinding there as we have a look here on the replay. Fantastic angle from the Next Level Rugby camera crew. So we await engagement there. It's just that unbind and gives the boot of Brendan O'Neill another opportunity to put some more points on the board for the visiting Vols. As we see here to the left of your screen, one more look at that engagement set up here. Just on the far side there, it was the number 3, Jared Monier, who just unbound at the last second there, so good spotting there from the referee.
O'Neill, a little more of an angle this time. It bounces off the post, but his ball is live. They're going to play it to Vols' hands. A dream catch right there. Now they're on the attack, looking for 5 points as opposed to 3. But great defense from the Wildcats to turn that one over. Wonderfully done. Player not releasing for the Vols. Couldn't get support players there in time. And out of the danger zone is going to be the Kentucky Wildcats.
Yeah, great job from the Wildcats. There was only really one person chasing that deflection off the post, and that caused them to be isolated. Kentucky are too good of a team to not take that opportunity. Here's the replay here. It was the number 13, Michael McGettigan. Managed to catch it on the deflection, but you can see here the Vols were just too late to get to that ball. Number 6, Gage Curry, fantastic textbook turnover there.
Curry from Minneapolis, Minnesota, went to Edina High School, playing at the University of Kentucky. Going to be a line out here for the Wildcats. They're going to go to a second pod here. Not too high, but straight enough, so the referee is happy with it. They're going to come out. Phillips gets it into the centers. A little crash coming in there from Everett Merritt. Everett Merritt, a senior from Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, studying agricultural ecosystem sciences at the university. And the kick ahead from the Wildcats. Back in the Vols' hands, torn down there. Great tackle by Luke Keogh. Ball is in and over. Referee's going to go back for a penalty. Didn't see the hand motion. We'll see what this call is.
Line out. Back line. Yeah. Back line, yeah.
off sides of the back
pick
line of the
anywhere,
Betsy
honestly.
ball, so they'll advance a little more. Johnny Dardis has a ball in hand. Five good ground there, so deep in the other end. Will be a line out here for the Wildcats. One of the better attacking positions they've had so far today, Wheels. Territorially, this has been a Vols game.
It certainly has, and that's a wonderful touch finder there from the number 10. As you mentioned, Johnny, haven't really seen Kentucky able to strike from set piece yet or string together any phases. Good defence thus far from the Vols, so let's see what the Wildcats can cook up here inside their own 22, rather the Vols 22.
Ball coming in here from Kentucky. Up they go, taken down by Punzelin, the senior. Not terribly clean, but got the job done. Everett Merritt into the contact. Off to the right-hand side they go. Have some runners. They're getting a little space here. Great work there by Gage Curry. Gage Curry with the power, with the dive. Gage Curry with the 5 points. Kentucky take the lead, 8-6. Kick to come. Wildcats find the seam.
Fantastic opening try from the Kentucky Wildcats. That man, Gage Curry, got himself ahead of seam, picked off the seam, and was just too fast and too strong to split through that gap. As we take a look momentarily on the replay, it all really started from set piece. They hit that open side pod, and then they snapped back to the right side. Here, Gage Curry took a little bit flat-footed, but then just put that juke on and split through the right gap. Still had a lot of work to do to beat that last defender, but that is just such an athletic and powerful finish from the number 6. Just what you want from your loose forwards in open space.
Wonderful try there, just found that outside shoulder, just a little defensive miscommunication as to who was going to cover that space. They did have players wide, which can keep the defense guessing quite a bit. Jack Phillips lines this one up. Phillips has the distance. Does he have the accuracy? They are happy. 10-6. First try of the game goes to the Wildcats. It is a CRC rugby action right here at National Collegiate Rugby's Friday Night Rugby. 10-6. Kentucky leads.
Yeah, here's another look at the replay. Curry, as you mentioned, Johnny, just a bit of defensive miscommunication, not quite shutting that door in time, the Vols. And Curry just barnstorming over that last defender to go over for the try. And what a great first set piece strike from them. We mentioned we wanted to see it, and we certainly got it.
Kickoff from the Vols, another deep one. They've been targeting that area and trying to put some pressure. Little held ball, but it's going to go into contact. They should get that back. John Hall takes that one in, the number 15, senior out of St. Charles, Missouri. Big barreling run from Jared Monnier. They call him Butters. Ball moves out to the right-hand side, gets in the hands of Phillips. Phillips moves it wide. A little pass there. Comes across from Cole. Back to one of the big men. They've been making some good hard yards here. Player has to wriggle away. An attempt at disruption from the Vols. But back to Phillips, no problem. A couple of bodies strewn across the ground there. That one is going to find the opposite number. Garrett Salas. Salas has stepped a couple so far. Moves it off to a waiting runner. Tackle coming in there from Holden Hahn. They're right at the touchline. The referee says that's fine. Ball comes up to Carson Richards. Richards has to make a break. The Memphis, Tennessee native. That one's turned over by Holden Hahn. Holden Hahn, the U.S. U20 flanker. Playing very well for this Kentucky team. Shook off a little bit of a shoulder stinger earlier. Back to full force, it seems. Ball comes away out. Cole to Phillips. Again, just a bit flat-footed back there on offense. The Vols able to put some pressure on them. This ball is going to swirl around O'Neal and wind up in touch. It'll be their line out, very calm, cool, and collected from the fly half.
Yeah, certainly is. As you mentioned, not really much happening there in the back line for the Wildcats, so really good game awareness just to plug that ball along the ground and pick yourself up some territorial metres.
Okay, you're the mark, yeah.
Just what you want from your fly half, spotting those spaces. Rather, it was the fullback, John Hall, who put that one through.
Yes.
Absolutely loving this band in Lexington tonight. It's not a rugby game, it's a party.
Yeah, it is
Sensational.
certainly a party in Lexington tonight. Like I said, Seminary building a good program there. A lot of high school rugby players looking at Kentucky these days. Ball goes to the ground. Kentucky has it. The referee has it. Arm out. Don't know if there's an advantage of it. Ball taken a little flat again there by Everett Merritt. Referee's going to come back for the penalty. This must be against the Vols for an offsides there. So another opportunity here, either for the boot. We will see what they decide. And calling for post immediately is Jack Phillips. They want to keep this scoreboard ticking. 18 minutes gone in this first half.
Yeah, and that's the second time now Tennessee's been penalised for offsides at line-out time. So that really is on the number 10, Brendan O'Neill, to set that 10-metre mark with the assistant referees and make sure everyone's onside. So they want to sort that out and not give away any little silly penalties that allows Kentucky to pick off some potential pretty easy points here in front of the posts.
Phillips lines it up. Under the din of the helicopter, doesn't get distracted, knocks that one. It's 13-6. Kentucky continues to move forward here. Good positional play in this first half.
Yeah, certainly is. They're making the most of their opportunities. Possessions more or less been dominated by Tennessee and territory, but Kentucky are just cashing in on their opportunities when they get into that red zone.
O'Neill gets good height on that one, good precision, but the pressure from the Vols didn't take the ball away, so it's back in the hands of Monnier. He is always going to make ground. You can tell how much he loves to play ball in hand, the big number 3. Now they come off of Phillip to dart his little wraparound there and shows, and Hall is on the move. Hall, can he hand off another one? He cannot, but he can offload. Now at Cole, the scrum half on the run. He pops it up, it winds up in the hands of the Vols. A little bit back and forth right now. Referee says play on. We're all happy. So ball is back there, and Phillips steps in on the distributor role. We will come back, however, for a penalty against Kentucky. At that breakdown there, looked like somebody played it illegally or used their hands, according to the referee, with that motion right there. And momentum thwarted for the moment, Wheels.
Yeah, certainly is. We see that kick finds touch on this occasion. Good way to diffuse the situation. This was John Hall, the elusive fullbacks. Had a couple of good runs so far early on in this game. Did a fantastic job of keeping the ball alive off the ground. As we see here, it was a little bit messy there. There were players piling in, but there was just that hand that raked it back there at the last second, and you're not going to let that past the referee.
Ball up to the Vols. They're going to come down on that one. O'Neill goes to the boot. Handy on from that direction with the left-footed kick. Rolls into touch. It is going to be a Kentucky line out. Well, it may have been kicked in front of the 22, so we're going to go back.
You got it? All right.
We are going to have a line out much deeper down this end for the Kentucky Wildcats. Wildcats, another attacking opportunity. 21 minutes halfway through this first half of Friday Night Rugby here on the Rugby Network.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Brendan O'Neill. I can certainly see what he's trying to do. Tennessee Vols, definitely the more conservative game plan, trying to plug those corners. Kentucky, we know what they did from this position just a few minutes ago.
Ball out. Phillips goes in behind. Again, good rush from that Vols defense. So they've lost about 10, 15 meters in the attack of the Wildcats. Cole finds Monnier. He gets met by 3 defenders and still manages to get a couple of meters out of it. Ball coming across here into the hands of Keogh. Keogh makes a nice break. Holden Hahn gets a hold of it. Holden Hahn nearly lost it. Puts in the little pass up there, but Keogh can't hang on to it. Scrum advantage to the Vols. Will come back for the scrum to Tennessee, the Volunteers, inside their own 22.
Yeah, unfortunate there from Kentucky. They just do a great job of keeping the ball alive. This team does some wonderful offloads in the opening quarter of this game. That one Just potentially one too many. But certainly are dangerous, Johnny, this Kentucky team. Look like they can strike you from any part of the field.
Referee Whitmer happy. He thought about bringing that one up. Good pressure from the Wildcats. Look at this. They have the ball in hand. Didn't come out quite clean for Merritt, but they're still on the attack are the Kentucky Wildcats. Wildcats looking for a little pick and go just to get things organized, buy themselves some time. Vols play with the pick and go as more of a part of their offense. And here come the Kentucky Wildcats. They're going to go again with the pick. Now Cole looks a little wider, gets to Phillips. There's some space opening up for Phillips, but it closes eventually. Players coming in, trying to clean that one up, but comes back around for Cole. He's got some runners, finds Monier. He gets just a couple this time, but able to recycle this ball in Cole. Finds Hall. Hall has some runners coming in a couple different directions. Pass doesn't quite go to hand. So they're going to have to reset again, are the Wildcats. Going through the phases, a little tip pass there. Good work, Wildcats. They find some momentum. Vols over that like a vice, but can't take it away. Wildcats. Phillips has to run around the back of a player. Referee says it's okay. Hangs one up in the air. It's right at the 5-meter line. Player could have called for the mark. Did not, but it's gone into touch according to the assistant referee. We will come back. It is going to be a line out here for the University of Kentucky, just a couple meters out from the try line.
Really love that from Jack Phillips. There wasn't really much happening with ball in hand, so he put up the lovely contestable kick. Have a look here. We almost get a look at it.
I thought it might have been a penalty on Donlin there that he snuck in behind. The referee says there was nothing. It didn't affect the play, really.
Yeah, well, Johnny Dardis, the number 12, was miles in front of the kicker, but he did a good job of just retreating. And we see here, didn't actually call the mark, so huge moment of the game, potentially, this Johnny.
Ball taken down, legally sacked by the Vols. Very smart. Don't let a roll-on come from the Kentucky Wildcats as they try to come across to the back at Keogh. Ball spills again. It's in Volunteers. The Vols on the move. The Vols are going to take advantage of a pretty messy setup there from the Wildcats. Across the 50-meter line they go. Now they have some momentum, taking players with them. You can see that Wildcats defense scrambling. That pass isn't going to help as O'Neal has to deal with it. Playing a little basketball there. Now it's back in Wildcats' hands. Wildcats have the ball. And Charles Bear over the top of that one. They're going to have to dig, and they do. Again, they're just using these pick and goes to get a little space here. Cole's going to go to the boot just to calm things down, and O'Neal takes it from inside his 22 and finds a lovely touch downfield. Going to be a line out for Kentucky, but is going to be a fair distance down the field, about 30 meters out from their own line.
Yeah, you mentioned it. Lovely touch finder, and what a way to relieve pressure for Tennessee. Their passing game was a little bit inaccurate on that previous phase play, so they had to get themselves out of danger after Kentucky stormed back. See some substitutions being made down there on the touchline. Yeah, the police sirens in the background as well.
That thing's over there.
Volunteers marking up the lineup there. You see Roman Funkhauser directing traffic on the lineup for the Vols. Funkhauser out of Bethesda, Maryland, went to Gonzaga College High School, one of the top high school programs in the country. That one goes in behind, winds up in Cole's hands. Coles finds his way through a couple of players. Pick and go again. Charles Bear. Bear finds some ground. Monier is at the back, deciding which way he'd like to go, and he's going to go off to his left. From Bishop Dwenger High School, Monier. Can go, that time's Cable. Cole. Phillips. Trying to go out the back there again, doesn't connect. Hall looked like he spilled that one forward. Referee has his arm out for advantage. And it'll be a scrum here for the Volunteers.
Yeah, potentially just a little bit too deep and too far there of a pass for Jack Phillips to make. You see here, that's a good 20-metre monstrous pass that Phillips had to make across the field. So a little bit testing for his midfield, but Tennessee Vols, Johnny, it's been a little while since they've had the opportunity on the 22 mark to really attack this Kentucky Wildcats line.
Yeah, they kept them honest with their defense, Wheels. Good pressure coming there. It's really stopping up this Kentucky offense. I'm going to take the ball a little flat back there, but on the attack now are the Tennessee Volunteers. Good work, good pressure there. Richards gets tackled, have to go back on the ball, do the Volunteers, but they're still alive, just lost a little ground. There's Funkhauser, we talked about him just a minute ago, the business analytics major. Takes that one into contact. Pick and go from the Vols. They find a little seam there. They get behind Curry. Curry stuck in the middle there. Sorry, that was Bear stuck in the middle there. Ball coming across Richards into the middle to O'Neal. O'Neal gets it into the centers. Pressure from the Wildcats this time. Both teams having a little trouble getting that ball with right away. As they come back, ball's into the hands of Corbin Alexander, but he takes a big hit, pops the ball loose, but they are fine to go. Looks like Squirlock had to come in and clean that one up. Richards again, ball gets left behind Nico Zaharis. He will come back to a penalty against the Wildcats right at midfield for a high tackle.
The boot of O'Neal is going to send this one hopefully deep into Kentucky's 22. Commentator's curious. No, he doesn't. I'll quiet down.
Yeah, certainly it's there. So they have it. We've got 13-6 game right now. Kentucky leads 13-6 over Tennessee, and Tennessee has the ball to Brendan O'Neal. Big break here coming from the Wildcats. Nicely done there from Keogh. That's Joseph Keogh, one of the two brothers on the team.
You held on to him, that's the step. You held on to him long.
Yeah, not rolling away.
10 minutes.
The call there from the referee. I think he's adjudicated these breakdowns really well in the opening 30 minutes of this game. Both sides wanting to play with some real tempo tonight, so there has to be emphasis on that tackler rolling clear and getting out of there so we can have the speed played that we all want to see.
All downfield from Kentucky. It's going to be their line out. Take a look at Carson Richards from Houston High School in Memphis, Tennessee. Senior on this Volunteers team. Kentucky taking their time to get their lineout set up here. Lineout is ready to go. See Parker Cable out of Matthew, North Carolina with the ball. Puts that one into the middle to the reserve, Brendan Lynn. Lynn out of Cleveland Heights, Ohio. Now a big break comes in from Holden Hahn. Good run to Holton defenders cross field. Cole gets a quick one. Monnier gets it. Pardon me, that was Richard Donlin gets it, and Donlin goes forward. And Cole has it. An advantage called from the referee. Looking for some runners just to break off and make some space here. Another big pick. This is Monnier. Continuing with the quick drives here are the Kentucky Wildcats. The Vols trying to disrupt. They're going to go just a little wider this time into the hands of Charles Bear. Good pressure coming in from the Vols. And Vols trying to rush this one. Ball in the center there to Dardis. Dardis shows a couple and goes back inside. Dardis eventually tackled. There's a player in and over him. Can they take that ball away? They cannot. Moving to the right is Phillips. Phillips gets it out there, but going back in. Held up right now. We're looking at the Wildcats attackers. Over for the big boys again. And that one is in. That one seems to be over. A referee is going to hold up. We're going to confer with his assistant referee, and a try awarded. It is eventually to the Kentucky Wildcats. Worked their way down there, had the patience, had the poise. Eventually they touch it down, and that is Parker Cable, the senior from Butler High School, touching down that try.
Outstanding from the Kentucky Wildcats. I spoke about it earlier. Their conversion inside the 22 has just been far more superior than Tennessee, as we see here. John Hall, the fullback, such a dangerous ball carrier. One of those real shifty fullbacks that can create something out of nothing, does a good job to stay in the fight there and keep the ball alive. And this is the real engine room here. Absolute weapon of machinery. Powering over the line, just does enough to get the ball across. Does Parker Cable. And if he doesn't then, he does on the second attempt.
Phillips lined this one up. 18-6. This would take it to 20. Ball is good for Kentucky. Kentucky moves ahead 20-6 in this first half. Will they be able to keep putting points on the board?
Yeah, again, another look at the try. John Hall does well to stop the maul from happening. Then all of the Wildcats forwards pile in there. He's a wee bit isolated with Cable, but it was just brutal strength that got him over the line. No doubt lots of deadlifts in the gym.
Certainly had that nice high ball. Comes down in the hands of Richard Donlin. Safely taken by the number 1. Front row partner looking for the ball, looking for another run, looking to take on 2 people and does. Gets a little yardage, keeps it alive until they can get it back. It comes to Phillips. Phillips downfield. He's going to find some grass there. Does not. Finds O'Neal. O'Neal is going to come wide with that one, but a little wobbly, so it doesn't come to the right place at the right time. It's taken in by Clay Winnick. Richards. They come back in tight. Hahn makes that tackle. And again, seems to be favoring that shoulder just a bit. O'Neal. Kentucky nearly picked off there, nearly a massive collision. We're going to come back, see if it was knocked on in the tackle there by Kentucky. Referee says indeed it was. We're going to come back for a scrum here for the Tennessee Volunteers.
Yeah, this is just the opportunity that the Volunteers need as we enter the final 5 minutes of the first half, as we see a little bit of medical attention needed down there on the sideline. We'll listen into the referees here.
If he's being assessed, he's done.
No, that's not. They get a minute to check. He can't just go off.
Just a discussion there to take a look at Hahn. We're right next to the hospital here by the university, so those ambulances coming by. Happens every now and again. See some patriotism in those volunteer scrum as it's going to be their ball.
Coach! Line! Set!
All in from the Vols. Big squeeze coming in from the Wildcats. Referee whistles.
90. We'll have it again.
So he's just going to set it down again.
Same put.
Referee Eric Whitmer. A good game, nice control, nice rapport with the players he has so far, Wheels.
Yeah, he certainly has mentioned it. He's refereed particularly that breakdown area really well, but he's let the game flow. He's called the things that are necessary and definitely hasn't been a whistle-dominated first half, which is something we always want to see from a viewership perspective.
Line! Set!
And another 40 minutes to come. Hopefully I haven't put the mockers on it, Johnny.
We'll see. Block is out from Richards. They go off to the right-hand side. They've got a planned move, a little show, but he goes back into McGettigan. McGettigan went to Sorrow High School.
Ball was out.
Still on the move by the Vols. Player caught on the wrong side. He's going to have to roll away. Referee not calling it so far. Another pick from the Vols.
No.
On the move here.
No.
Defenders just kind of receiving at the moment. They need to stop this tide. Do the Kentucky Wildcats. They're looking strong are the Vols. You can see the posts in the background there working their way towards them.
Roll blue!
They get the distance. Ball comes back. Now they move it from Richards. Going out to O'Neal. Looking for a runner. Come back in. Finds him. McGettigan. Can he get to the line? We cannot. Over the top there is a Kentucky defender. It has been turned over by Kentucky. Great work, Everett Merritt, the senior right there, to shut that down, and Cole's going to go right to the boot. There's a lot of open space back there. Doesn't opt for touch, but he puts the balls on their back foot. He did that slip forward. Players flying by each other there. It's in the hands of Garrett Salas. Salas takes it to the ground. Here they come through. Their number 12, that is Zach O'Reilly. O'Reilly, seen a ton of him today so far. So a couple of runs, good strong lead on defense he's had in that rush defense. Balls again from a further distance, just inside the Kentucky half. Now have a long way to go. Here come the balls. Another break, but we're looking for somebody to find some space in between these defenders. Richard's going to come out to O'Neal. O'Neal's going to go around the back. Nearly picked off there. Plays around the back, not working as well as they would like. Big hit comes in there from Keo. Here goes Corbin Alexander. The junior from Juliet, Tennessee. Went to the Friendship Christian School before coming to the university. Ball back there into the hands of Clay Wiener, Pasadena, California native. Ball out to the right-hand side. A little pop up there from Zaharis. Don't find too much ground and spill it forward. Ball here is in the hands of Everett Merritt. Merritt to the ground, pops that one up into the hands of Cole. Cole distributes, knocked forward there by one of the Vols players, intentionally knocked down, says the referee. Will be a penalty here to the Kentucky Wildcats. 2 minutes left on the game clock in this half.
Back 10.
Well, you have to give massive plaudits to the Kentucky Wildcats defense. Tennessee throwing absolutely everything at them, and Kentucky just managing to hold on and diffuse any sort of threatening attacking situation from the Vols.
Just you. Who'd you come for? Four.
Certainly, they will take plenty of confidence in their defensive efforts heading into the halftime huddle and the second half. And ultimately, they've reaped the rewards here with a penalty to apply a little bit more pressure before we go to halftime oranges.
Been an exciting half. I haven't been able to give fun facts about the university. We'll get to those in the second wheels. I know you love it. As we're going to come back.
That's my favourite part of Friday Night Rugby.
Just making sure that's a big one tonight. We have ball's going to be here to Kentucky. Late attacking opportunity. 1 minute and 9 seconds on the game clock in the half. Referee may have a little extra time. Kentucky. In the center of the lineup they go. Merritt takes it down. Phillips gets it back there. It goes back to Dardis, but not quite what they wanted. Came off of Abelardo Reza, wearing number 17. If they come to the right. Pop passes from the forward. That was bare to Merritt, but they can't find too much ground. Somebody spills it. John Hall thinks about what could have been, but the ball went forward, and it's going to be a scrum here for the Volunteers. Play with purpose. Rhino Rugby is proud to offer the first ever recycled rugby balls, made with recycled rubber to help protect our environment.
Last play, guys. Last play.
Perfect for both practice and match day. You can keep your performance high while keeping the planet clean. Visit rhinorugby.com today to learn more.
What? Yeah.
Scrum here for the Tennessee Volunteers. As you see time wind down on the game clock, stadium clock, for this first half. We have a little referee's time. Good pressure from the Wildcats. They've been putting on some pretty big power there. That ball comes back there to Merritt. Merritt's going to find some ground. Off a little pass from Homage back to the right-hand side. Looking for some runners. They find Charles Baer. Baer takes that one in. Ball comes to Big Money Air. Looked like Hahn was the target. The big front row with the big eyes to the line there. Sees it. Can't quite make it. Do they get 5 points at the death here? The Wildcats would love to go into halftime with another 5 or 7 on the board, and they're working their way there. Referee right on the spot there is Eric Whitmer. Big other run coming, and in and over at the line they go. Richard Donlin gets that one. Try awarded. Kentucky 5 points at the brink of halftime. Wheels.
Yeah, and what a way, you said 5 points at the brink of halftime. What a way to enter those halftime speeches. They will be over the moon. We see here, good low carry. You're not stopping that close to the line. Richard Donlan. It was his hooker, Parker Cable, who scored the one.
Set it on the table. It's
About 5 to 10 minutes ago. Short to the line, and this time Donlan helps himself to the 5-pointer, but just well organised, accuracy on point, 5 metres out. Just what you want from your forwards.
Kick to come here. This would put it at 27 points. Phillips lines it up well within his range for the captain. Schultz Award nominee, one of the highest awards in collegiate rugby in America. He was on the short list with Phillips. That one is good, so they're going to move another 2 points on. Referee Whitmer whistles us for halftime. Late surge here. Kentucky takes a pretty strong lead against Tennessee Wheels.
Yeah, fantastic half from Kentucky. Tennessee can certainly hold their heads high, and this game is by no means over with yet, but Kentucky, the point of difference, just so clinical in their 22 end zone. But looking forward to an entertaining second half as we see some of the tries here, rather the replay. That was the initial yellow card we had in the opening 2 minutes. This is the opening try. I beg your pardon, to number 6, Gabe Curry. A fantastic individual effort from the blindside flanker. He was pumped about it, as you should be. This here, try number 2, this was to Parker Cable, the number 2 in the engine room. Too much brutal strength that close to the line. Rather, it was Monier potentially that grabbed that one. Johnny, my eyes could be deceiving me.
He thought he was there.
Cable will score. We keep going with the highlights, so that's one of them. And that is halftime here at the National Collegiate Rugby Friday Night Rugby. We're in Lexington, Kentucky. Stay with us in just a few minutes. We'll be back with second half action.
In our game, we play
That was
with
more
our
of a
hearts.
that was more of a TM.
We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
It's time to hit. It's time to pass. It's time for tradition. It's rugby time, America. It's rugby time, America.
In our game, we play with our hearts. We don't play with sticks, bats, or gloves. We don't wear shoulder pads or helmets. We keep playing when it hurts. And we leave everything on the field. What we wear must be built for our game.
Welcome to the Rugby Rundown on the Rugby Network, as we bring you your weekly rugby fix.
With the big news, special guests, and unparalleled access, this is your rugby show. Watch exclusively on the Rugby Network.
ready. Major League Rugby is now.
This is the moment we waited for. Everything you want is right here. We gon' give them what they came for. We gon' take it up from last year.
The Rugby Network is giving you all the free MLR content you want, live and on demand. Never miss a hit, never miss a try, never miss your team. MLR on TRN. Never miss a match.
Rugby is all about feeling. The feeling when you crouch, when you bind, when you set. The feeling when you go into that first defender. The feeling when you make that first tackle. The feeling when you take that first hit. We are that feeling. We are contact. We are Rhino.
It's time to hit. It's time to pass. It's time for tradition. It's rugby time, America. It's rugby time, America.
In our game, we play.
If you want to hear more from us, we'll be in the premiere in the College Rugby Show on October 11th at 6:30 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. Hosted by rugby journalist Pat Clifton, join us as we dive into college rugby's latest news, insights, and stories. Don't miss the kickoff to an exciting season and a look at the U.S. Women's Olympic bronze. And welcome back to Lexington, Kentucky. It's a lead for the hometown team at halftime. The Wildcats are about to kick off, running from left to right on your screen wearing the blue. The Vols and Orange will be receiving. I am John Broker, joined by Thomas Wheels Brandt. National Collegiate Rugby, Friday Night Rugby, Week 4. Great Southeast Conference matchup here. Defending D1AA champion Kentucky kicked this one off. Get that one downfield immediately. A whistle there. Looked like a player was pretty well offside, and they're just going to bring that one right back. Is the referee. 27-6 here, Wheels. Big half for Tennessee. They need something pretty quick.
Yeah, they certainly do, Johnny. There's still plenty of positives they can take from that opening 40 minutes, but really imperative that they can get on a roll here in the opening 10, 20 minutes of the second half and assert a bit of dominance back into the game. They started off really well in the opening 10 minutes, getting those first points on the board, but then Kentucky just roared back into it and made the most of their opportunities inside of the Vols half.
forcing Richards to put this one in. Trying to put some pressure on are the Wildcats. They're going to want to get this ball out of the Vols. This may have been turned over here early in the half. They came right back to midfield. Ball going forward. Holden Hahn's going to do the honors and get them a little momentum. Off they go again. Another little pick at the back there. Cable, he scored a try in the first half. Cole, Phillips, in behind a couple of runners. They've got a little head of steam this time. It's quickly shut down. Vols defense has been definitely a bright spot here, making life hard for the Wildcats. They're staying in midfield of the Wildcats. Crossfield, they start. Get the ball in the hands of Abelardo Reza, number 17. Just a bit further there in Adam's hands. He was the late try scorer. Straight up running coming from these Kentucky Wildcats. They've been in a little chat about getting some momentum. Little tip pass there into the hands of Reza from Donlin, but Reza tackled immediately. He's a junior from Eminence, Kentucky, at the Eminence Independent School. Got a penalty for holding onto the ball there against the Wildcats. Vols will have an opportunity. Looks like O'Neal's going to push this one downfield to go for the lineouts.
Yeah, great technical work at the breakdown this time from Tennessee, and this is just the opportunity they need inside the opening stages of the second half. The boot of Brendan O'Neal certainly can put them into some good attacking situations. Critical they execute this set piece here and string a few phases together.
Vols. Lineup maul taken down legally by the Wildcats. Referee happy to let them keep playing. Eric Whitmer, our center referee, doing a wonderful job this evening. Ball to 22. Zach O'Reilly. Take and go. You can hear the players from the Wildcats on the sideline trying to urge their team on defensively here, helping them with their call. Ball comes back there in the hands of Funkhauser. Haven't seen a lot of Funkhauser. The Gonzaga product so far this evening gets a nice little run there. Here's a pick. You can see the post in the back line. That's the goal. That's where they have to get to. Rolling behind Bibb. Gets into the hands of Nico Zaharis. Zaharis active in the first half on both sides of the ball from Littleton, Colorado, studying biomedical engineering. Richards finds Funkhauser. Funkhauser doesn't find much. Ball coming across here. A little show from O'Neal. Has to spin back in. They're going to go back to the tight game. Bit of a size differential here, but cannot make hay of it right there. Just have to take to the ground. Grant Silkwood. Ball may have been turned over here. It was knocked on in the contact area by the Tennessee Vols. So it's back to the Wildcats. They have an opportunity here. They'll launch it downfield. That should take care of the advantage. So Vols ball will show, and not quite what they want there from Garrett Salas as he's caught by a couple of Kentucky defenders. He had options plus the option to kick. O'Neal steps into that distributor role. Now they push it downfield inside the 22. Ball goes down, but find their way back there. Donlin does good to stay alive. Little show there. Now they get the ball out to the whip. Kentucky. Joseph Keogh. Cole goes to the boot. Goes inside of his 22. Doesn't find a lot of space there, but it should be a line out here for the Tennessee Vols. Attacking opportunity for them.
Yeah, certainly is, but as you mentioned, Kentucky again just doing a great job to stunt anything that the Vols are trying to cook up on attack. I see the referee just blowing time off here.
Kentucky ball. I thought it was going to be Tennessee. Ball up, Kentucky well taken referee whistles. Just going to have them take this one again.
Time is in.
Just over 5 minutes gone in the second half. National Collegiate Rugby, Friday Night Rugby line out here for the Wildcats. 27-6 they lead. Ball goes up over the top, winds up in Funkhauser's hands. He was in the right place and gets him go forward there as Brendan Bibb has his hands on the ball. Bibb beats his opposite number, Jared Monnier. That's a clash right there for you. Another pick off the back. Hudson Shoot takes that one. Junior at Sherwood, Minnesota. That's a Minnetonka High School. Looking to pick it up there again. Nico Zaharis. Doesn't find too much room and finds a penalty. Held on to that ball. Good work there by Kentucky to force that one. Their opportunity now to move the chains and push this one down and go for an attacking opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely, Johnny. Again, Kentucky have picked their moments so well tonight at the breakdown. We see here the educated boot of Phillips finds touch beyond halfway, but really well educated on when to pick their moments and try and poach that ball.
It'll be a Kentucky Wildcats ball. First called the Wildcats in 1909, Wheels. But a military man, speaking of the school, said their football team fought like Wildcats. And that name just caught on and stayed. Kentucky playing right now. Little fun fact there for you, Wheels.
I love the facts, Johnny. I've been waiting for them all night. They finally arrived.
Yeah, they're holding up here. We'll just talk about Ashley Judd, a wonderful actress and a family of country musicians. Harry Dean Stanton, the great actor, both graduates of Kentucky, as well as Sam Bowie. He was a basketball player that was drafted ahead of Michael Jordan in 1984, and a host of phenomenal players in the athletics department of Kentucky. Ball comes across. Kentucky moves. Phillips gives it to a big fella, and he charges forward. Makes a little room as they get themselves set up off the starter play. Ball comes back into Everett Merritt. Referee sees player just ducking in behind. So it's going to be a penalty here to the Tennessee Vols.
Yeah, unfortunate there with the decoy runner. Again, Brendan O'Neill, he's putting his team in great positions. That's just another beautiful kick for touch, but they really need to start cashing in on these opportunities here. Do the Vols.
Yeah, Volunteers, 8.5 minutes into the second half, have made a couple of replacements there. You see Aiden O'Connor going up to pick that ball up, junior from Shorewood, Illinois. Funkhauser, the target in the middle, steps in. They have this one. Kentucky can't take it down. Good setup there. Referee's happy with it. They're driving forward. Kentucky players trying to get in and over. Good momentum here from the Volunteers. Eventually it goes to the ground of their own making, but they gain some ground and they are on the move. It can go worse. You see the flag in the background. Looking for points here. Looking for their first try. Just 2 O'Neill penalties so far. Monnier makes that tackle. He's in and over the ball. Will he be penalized? Trying to get away in time. Big pick of the back. Good drive, but shoot. There was indeed a penalty for not rolling away there, so ball's back in their hands and they're going to go for it. Corbin Alexander gets met by a couple of defenders, held up by Richard Donlin. Donlin keeping him in the air. He got his knee to the ground eventually, but they ripped that one away. No, they did not. Volunteers ball. That ball nearly slipped. We have another penalty here against Kentucky. They're going to have to be careful in the zone down here. The Volunteers are really looking for it.
Yeah, well, this is the most threatening that the Tennessee Vols have looked all game. They're going to look to quick tap this one. Throw everything at the Wildcats here.
Getting himself started. Get the ball to Brendan Bibb. Brendan Bibb looking at the line. Cannot cross it. shoot at the back over the ball, but they're going to move this one. Looking for a latch. Finds it, but can't find the one. Kentucky player on the ground. May have ripped that one away. Referee whistles and calls for his time. And the Tucker's assistant referee could have been an illegal play there from Kentucky. Or probably we'll see what comes of this conversation.
Stopped short. Stopped short and then stripped and then pulled in by Blue.
That's what I saw.
Okay. All right. We've got stopped
Saying
short.
Blue
Never released. He stripped the ball on the ground. Too tight. Next ball. All right.
So it's going to be another penalty to the Vols here. And what happened is the player was on the ground and decided to rip that ball away when he can't play the ball while you're laying on the ground. So they're going to come back with that one. The Vols thought they would have had that. Another penalty here for the University of Tennessee. The boys from Knoxville are going to have another crack at the line. Ball up to Bibb. Bibb lowers his head, drives his way forward. Ball still there. Looking a little wider to Funkhauser. Funkhauser.
Moving off.
He can't find a line. Another quick pick here. Last try of the first half went to Kentucky. First try of the second half. Will it go to the Vols? Big pick off to the right-hand side. Good defense from Kentucky.
Behind the line.
That ball is playable.
Advantage.
Another little pick at the line. They're often like rolling the rock up the hill here, Wheels. They're trying again and again. But that time they get the rock to the top of the hill, and they will score a try. There's a very happy Jack Baer who tucks that ball down. The sophomore from Glen Ellen, Illinois, enters the game and touches down 5 to get the University of Tennessee Volunteers started in the second.
Yeah, well, Jack Baer, he has all the reasons to be happy. He has just breathed life back into this game for the Vols. Perseverance pays off for Tennessee. We see here they just hammered away at the line with the pick and goes, and eventually something had to give for a really resilient defensive line of Kentucky. Referee Johnny on the spot, on the line, try time. Conversion to come for the Vols.
O'Neal lines up this kick. Should be pretty straightforward for him.
Yeah,
Jack Phillips. O'Neal inquiring with a shot clock. The referee tells him he's got a bit of time here. With 12 minutes gone in the second half. That one comes off the post. So 27-11 Kentucky.
He throws the kicking Tijuana to the parking lot next door. Not happy with that one. Brendan O'Neal, it happens to the best of us. Here's another look at the try, just nice and compact. They hammered, as I mentioned, towards the line, and in the end, just did enough to get that ball across the white chalk. That'll give Tennessee some real confidence.
Good start for them. Phillips decides to go along with this one, and that one bounces back towards the Kentucky Wildcats. Nearly a mistake there by the Vols, but now they break the line and off they go. Good early run here. Look at another break there. I believe that's McGettigan. Ball comes off to this left-hand side, gets in the hands of Brendan Bibb. Bibb takes it to the ground. Carson Richards gets a ball to Funkhauser. Starting to get a little roll on here for these Tennessee Vols. They would like to see that try line again as the ball comes out to O'Neal. He goes around the back. Runners coming in, trying to take that away. Will they find some space? They've got a little distance in behind. To the offense there of this Tennessee Vols team, starting to regather. They should get some room. That's McGettigan again. He's a very powerful runner. Very difficult to bring down. The ball goes to Brendan Bibb. Bibb comes down. Richards moves it again. Good defense. Blood dislodges that ball. Give a knock on there by the Vols. Quick pick up by Parker Cable. Cable.
Advantage is
on
over.
the spot has the hooker doing a good job. Little tight pass. Advantage is over. Players in and over that one. Keo. It's going to be a penalty against, I believe, Kentucky. Player down for a second here.
You did great. Holding on if they
on the replay.
Go ahead.
That line speed again from Kentucky, just applying that real suffocating
That's
pressure.
what we restart with.
That's Parker Cable, just gets caught there in the artificial turf.
25 to go.
Again, Johnny, you don't quite have those soft landings like you would on grass, and sometimes your knees and your ankles can get caught in that turf.
I warned him that.
Cable is okay. A good man minute on Matthew, North Carolina, to Butler High School. Natural Resources and Environmental Science. He's studying at the University of Kentucky. Checked out by the medical staff here. National Collegiate Rugby, Friday Night Rugby here on the Rugby Network. Next Level Rugby bringing you all this action. Go green with Rhino Rugby. Introducing Rhino's recycled rugby balls. Same great performance, now eco-friendly. Visit rhinorugby.com to learn more.
27-11, 27-11.
Cable is up.
Number 2.
And help them off the field. Both teams cheering them off. Next Friday starts the women's rugby for the next few weeks. Texas A&M versus Texas. It's a huge rivalry. National Collegiate Rugby is going to bring that on Friday Night Rugby, 7 o'clock Eastern on the Rugby Network, October 11th. Make sure you tune back in for that one. Right now, it is Brendan O'Neill who's going to push this ball downfield for the Volunteers. Great left boot, as you said, finds some ground. Know the truth, and the truth shall make you free, Will. That's the motto of the University of Tennessee. Home to a couple of great alumni writers, Cormac McCarthy, Kurt Vonnegut, Pat Summitt, legendary women's basketball coach, Peyton Manning, you might have heard of him as a quarterback. And you always have to mention it was just an honorary degree, but Dolly Parton got one from the University of Tennessee. So some great alumni at both schools. Off go the Volunteers. They've been in this position before, driving downfield.
What do you got? All right, well done.
Ball taken down. Assistant referee says they're okay. So they're going back to the pick and go game or the Vols. Ball's in the hands of Nico Zaharis. Zaharis taken down by Charles Bear.
That's good. 17, I want to see a wrap.
Not gaining too much ground right now with the Vols. Defense glutted around here for the Wildcats, trying to push them down. That's Abelardo Reza making that hit. Just working through the phases here are the Tennessee Volunteers.
Blue back. Back.
Ed Nair has a hold of this ball. Another advantage here against Kentucky. Players coming off sides. They've had a number of infractions down inside of their own 5-meter line. They're going to have to be careful. Don't want to get a card with Kentucky. They've had one already in this game. Richard stands up. He's going to let the big boys do the work. Bibb and over to clean that one that time. Is there space? Is he there? Nearly darting through is a Tennessee Vols player. Pick and go. Just dives right on top of somebody goes Funkhauser. Doesn't matter. Free play with a penalty advantage against the Wildcats. Got opportunity for the Vols.
All right.
Yeah, we mentioned referee's going to have a chat now, which is, I think, right on order. Got to be careful with the penalties in this particular part of the field. Mounting up could lead to another card here for Kentucky.
Players being tended to here for the Wildcats. Both teams going to their benches, using their reserves wisely. We're at 56 minutes gone. Tennessee steps up. They're going 27-11, 14 minutes gone. 5 corners are what they need, more than 3 corners to pick it over. Carson Richards has the ball in his hands. Carson Richards shows a little dance move there. Goes off to the right-hand side. In and over is a great work from Edward Merritt. Player coming out angle against the for Tennessee Vols, so it's going to be good work from the Wildcats, going to get them out of their zone.
Unfortunate there from the Vols. Jamie Phillips, the captain, will send this one downfield and relieve all the pressure. That's a great exit there as we have a look at the replay here. Carson Richards took the quick tap. They set up for their picking goes again, but we just see here that clear side entry. I think it's number 17, Aidan O'Connor. Really good call there from the referee. Didn't come back through the gate.
Kentucky push it down the field. Mr. Hale is going to put this one in. Hale, number 20, the senior from Burlington, Kentucky. And the game for Parker Cable. Ball up, hangs in the air, but taken down eventually. Cole moves it out. Phillips gets it even wider. A little better connection this time. They find some momentum off to this left-hand side. They have more runners. Cole comes out to Phillips. Phillips swarmed by Volunteers defenders. The Volunteers queuing up on defense. Take on big Abelardo Reyes, the junior. He's a 6'4", 270. Big, powerful man. Phillips goes to the boot, pulls this one down. Finds some grass over the head of O'Neal. O'Neal comes across. Going forward, defensive pressure works. Another knock on it. That might have resulted in something wonderful for the Wildcats. But we'll come back to the scrum here for Kentucky offense.
And slightly different tactics from what they tried to put in the first half. Kentucky. See here. Man O'Neal gave the wide pass, and unfortunately, number 15, Garrett Salash just took his eyes off the ball and forced the knock on there for the Wildcats. Big scrum here.
Big cheer coming in from these Wildcat supporters. They want something out of this referee. Just stop this up for a second to make sure everything's safe. I think he's of the opinion that a prop might try to get a little bit of an illegal edge on another player. They would never.
It's never a proper fault, Johnny. We all know that. LT is charged.
Ball into the Wildcats. Maritani up there for the back for penalty against Kentucky. Illegal work in the runners there, so O'Neal has the ball in hand again. And his left boot has come in very handy for the Vols, finding a lot of distance.
Yeah, see here on the replay. I've had a few scrum penalties tonight, and a couple have gone either way. It's been a really even contest. That's a great shove in there. Tennessee, though, just absolutely dominant. Brendan O'Neal gives them a good platform here with a lovely kick downfield.
Nathan Rawls to put this in, first-year player out of Waukesha, North Carolina. High school state champion. High school club national champion.
Play on.
Ball over the top there, winds up in the hands of one of the Kentucky players, but not forward. So
knock on, then he didn't release it to him.
Was a knockdown, then didn't release. So it's a penalty here for the Tennessee Vols. A little mistake there from the Wildcats.
Yeah, Brendan O'Neal will do just what he did previously and send this one even deeper into the Wildcats territory. 20 minutes to go. If the Vols can score here, we're really set up for a box office finish, and I think that's what this really healthy crowd deserves. Johnny, on this fantastic night in Lexington. Next level rugby.
Lexington this evening.
Absolutely.
Balls away, balls away. All right.
Whole team just waiting for a rugby ball, something pretty critical to playing the sport. It comes in now, we have a ball.
All set, Maul. Away, blue.
Vols going to the pick and go.
Back.
Another pick here from Tennessee. Tennessee going a little sideways at the moment, but able to maintain the ball. Richard has the ball in his hand now, so he's going to go just a bit wider. Rawls.
He's gone.
In on that one.
All right, fought him off.
Ridge
Fought him
High School.
That's good. Roll, release.
There from the Volunteers. Inch by inch, working their way towards the try line. They have
Back,
the patience.
back. Advantage.
Clearly some practiced moves here. They're comfortable in this offensive setup. The referee is going to come and whistle here. Looks like we're going to have a quick pick.
I blew the whistle already. I'd blown the whistle. I blew the
Referee
whistle
said
as
I
I
blew the
set the
whistle
mark.
for a penalty. And set the time off here. We have a card
Repeated.
coming for a Kentucky player.
Repeated infringement. 7. It's offside. Last one.
And that's Holden Hahn.
Yeah, we mentioned-
Going to be removed from the field, and he's a key player for this team, Wheels.
He certainly is, Johnny. You highlighted him in the pre-game, one of their standout players, so that is a big loss for the next 10 minutes. But again, down in this red zone, too many penalties for the Wildcats. The Vols now with a numerical advantage for the remainder, rather the next 10 minutes. So this is huge in the context of the game if they're able to score here. Tennessee.
Tennessee sets up for the penalty right away. We're about 3/4 of the way gone through this game, 62-63 minutes. So there's time for the Vols. It is a big battle here. Scoreless have been the Wildcats in this second half. Vols defense seeing that and just maintaining possession. That big drive right there gets it in, and it is going to be try awarded for the Tennessee Volunteers. They are willing their way to the try zone at the moment, and it pays off right there with another 5 points with a very
17.
kickable kick to come.
Well, just like that, we have game on. 27 points to 17. Have a look here, rather 16. Have a look on the replay. Had the backs turned for that split second, did the Wildcats, and the Vols were too quick to pounce on that opportunity. And we'll try and get a number for you. It is the number 7, Nico Zaharis.
Well-deserved Nico Zaharis try. He has been very, very electric tonight, has been at everything, and rewarded with 5 points for all of his efforts. Well done for the man from Littleton, Colorado. Kick was good. Game
16 and a half.
as
You'll
you
get him back
said,
with
Wheels.
7 to go.
Kick to come from the Wildcats.
16:30.
7-18 on this beautiful Friday evening. Phillips. Down the middle of the field, Vols in their own 22. They play the territory game. It's been working for them. Going back on that, Dominic Rasson takes that one. Dominic Rasson trying to find some room. Ball to the Wildcats. Some of the precious offense they've had in the second half. Everett Merritt. Phillips. Going to go to the boot. He is playing the territory game as well. Maybe a wise choice, but O'Neal
Keep coming.
off of the
Keep
left.
coming. Keep coming.
Rolling kick back to Phillips. Power coming in. That's Donlin. Donlin gets taken down with a big shot by a Vols defender. Room available there for Eduardo Reza.
Just a penalty. Just a penalty.
Phillips has the ball. There's a penalty advantage. The ball is in the hands of Joseph Keogh. Keogh to the right-hand side. That's midfield you see right there. Player from the Vols just piling in. Corbin Alexander there. We're going to go back to the original penalty against the Vols. So just inside their own half.
Can't drive him.
Good angle here for Jack Phillips to kick this one
Yeah, you just can't
downfield.
drive him down. You can get him up. You can't drive him.
You see here on the
But he
replay,
ran
just
it on
took him
his
past
side,
the
so no
horizontal
yellow.
and then drove him into the
Yep.
ground. Obviously, we had a
Shot.
yellow card in the first half for a much more serious looking offence than that, but Jack Phillips, what a kick this could be, really testing his radar and range.
He has the distance on these. His kicking is very, very powerful. So he has the range here, the accuracy. He's just a little off to that side. But this would be a big blow to the Volunteers' psyche if it went over.
It's live, right?
Phillips lines up the long one. Phillips. A little high. You can hear somebody saying that's going to fall short. Volunteers take that ball down. Wildcats have it back in their hand, however. Nice little run there from Jaden Bailey, the excellent Kentucky native, finding his way through some defenders as a sophomore. Ball coming out from the reserve scrum half there. That is William Weeks. Weeks in the game, sophomore, Little Rock, Arkansas. Ball stays in behind the attack, but knocked on, it looked like there. A nice break there from Keogh. That is Luke Keogh going through the middle of the field. On the attack now. Good position are the Kentucky Wildcats. No one there to pass. They're going to have to hang on to it. They're across the 22. Little pick for them this time. It works out well. There's Colasar. An advantage called, but a rolling player here. You can see the try line in the back there as they come across to Donlin. Donlin does what he loves to do, take on a head-to-head battle with a defender that he normally wins. We're going to go back to the advantage of another one, so right in front of the post. Very easy shot here for Phillips, or they could go for more. They have a little breathing room due to the University of Kentucky Wildcats, and they're going to go quick. And they go off to that man, Jared Monnier. Monnier, eyes to the line several times today. Couldn't quite get there, but he's given them so much go forward. Here he is now looking at it, and he is in. He is over, and for his troubles, Monnier gets a 5-pointer. All that great work of possession from the Vols. Quick strike back from Kentucky. Well worked. Good work, Jared Monnier.
Oh, fantastic, Jared Monnier. That could be the killer blow from the Kentucky Wildcats, and that man, I think, is very well deserving. The front row for Kentucky has worked tirelessly all night. We see here the number 21, William Weeks, just marshalling his troops, and Monnier spotted the seam there on the left and just had all of the power and the downward pressure to get the ball over the line. This one will be a pretty simple kick for Jack Phillips, you'd think.
Yeah.
A little under the last one, but that was a 50-some-odd meter kick, so this one a little more reasonable here for Phillips. Phillips eyes at the post. You see the Vols regathering down there. Hitting the just a minute, 11 minutes to go. Just under the 70-minute mark. This would take it at 34-18. Vols will have to answer quickly. Phillips.
All right.
Phillips taking his time, burning some clock here. Phillips launches that one, but it is no good. So we're at 32-18. Kentucky over Tennessee. National Collegiate Southeast Rugby Conference action here.
Yeah, the replay of the try. One thing's for sure, Johnny, we are never allowed to put a curse on the goal kickers again. That is true. It lives on.
It certainly does. One of our many talents. Ball up in the air here from the Volunteers. Comes down. They contest that one, but don't quite get it. So back on the ball is Chester Hale. Hale gives the ball away, and they're on the attack again are these Kentucky Wildcats. Ball out from Weeks. Nice little tip pass there. The try scorer gets right back in action and finds some room. There's a bit of Phillips, and he is going to go to the hanger high in the air. Back there for O'Neal. They've both been steady behind. O'Neal this time bobbles it, so has to do a little bit of work, but able to get through. Body position to work on the ground to get that one set. Richards over that ball, so his teammates can pick and go with that.
Come back.
As Ted in there, the sophomore from Houston, Texas, an aerospace engineering major, takes that one. Now Richards gives it just a little wider. They're getting it out into the hands of McGettigan. McGettigan has been hard and elusive today. Gets him over Richards. Richards moves it across to not quite anyone. And it gets hacked over by Brendan Lynn. So things change. It slips by one of the players, but Lynn retrieves his own kick, only to be knocked on by his teammates. The referee says we're okay, and it's going to wind up here, potentially a try for the Kentucky Wildcats. The referee is going to talk to the assistant. I thought I saw a knock on there. The referee in much better position, Wheels.
Okay.
I think that was the right one.
Parallel.
Try awarded.
Try awarded. That slip, but certainly referee in a much better position. All there said he retrieved it, so they're going to award that try there. Looks like to Luke Kia.
On the white.
Brendan Lynn did a great job to get the little underhand offload away and just regathered there, potentially forward, but we're certainly not in line with that one. And there's the Superman dive. He will be the hero on campus.
Kentucky coach or fan in the back there.
You can get him back and take his time. $40 seconds. Yeah.
Phillips told he has 40 seconds to kick this. Happy to burn time off the clock here for the Wildcats. Looking to extend a perfect record this season. To defend their title this season, Wheels.
It's certainly looking the goods tonight, that's for sure. Especially with the man in the bin.
Holden Hahn in the bin. Very talented player. Phillips. 73 minutes on the clock. That one goes just a bit short for Phillips. Looking good here for the Wildcats. Vols will have the restart here, and I believe they're bringing the player back on.
Time's off.
Massive credit to the University of Kentucky students and the atmosphere they've created tonight. I don't think our first 3 games have quite lived up to the atmosphere we've had tonight here in Lexington, Johnny, so hopefully we go strength to strength with the Texas battle next week. Looking forward to that one.
We will be deep in the heart of Texas next week. Right now we are in Kentucky, beautiful bluegrass state. Weeks. It's the ball to a waiting Jack Colasar, senior from Wildwood Crest, New Jersey. Into St. Augustine prep. Long hanging pass there from the Wildcats. It was chipped forward by the boots. Don't think it was all intentional, but a bit of a soccer game breaks out here for us as Rasson chases that one down with Jaden Bailey. It winds up in Rasson's hands. He is a bit of a one-man show at the moment. Kicking, running, picking up, doing what he's got to do. He's getting downfield, and they are well inside the zone until it's ripped away by a Vols defender. Vols deep. O'Neal launches it downfield. Finds plenty of grass there. Broken field play as the Wildcats scramble back on it. Wildcats, that one goes to a boot. Looked like a player may have been taken out in the air there. We'll see if that is a factor. Referee and assistant referee. Vols player claiming he was in touch further back down. Not getting the call.
Yeah, I think that one might have just snuck past the officials. Certainly taking a knee. We'll see here on the replay. Did a great job to get this clearing kick away under pressure. And on the charge down, yeah, that one certainly warrants a penalty in today's day and age, but
put that on here, however, and Nathan Rawls will put this one in. Nathan Rawls puts that one high. Not quite as clean as they would like, so Richards has to take it on his own. He finds Colasar eventually, who takes him to the ground. Oh, he found Bryson Shelton, took him to the ground. Looks like a couple players there. My apologies. For the Sheltons and the Colasars. Ball up.
Gonna do him.
Nearly ripped away by Kentucky, but illegally so they're going to come back. little talk back happening, so they're going to move this one downfield. Referee doesn't deserve the back chat, so he penalizes further the Wildcats and the Vol. This one downfield. 74 minutes gone, 6 minutes in the game clock. It is going to be a line here for the Tennessee Volunteers.
Yeah, Tennessee certainly have been competitive. They can finish with a real flurry here. A couple of quick tries and you never know.
The ball comes down quickly. Both teams doing a good job legally sacking the ball.
No, wasn't immediate.
Ball, but roll.
Away, 20.
Ball up here for Tennessee. Tennessee. Little dive. Is he there? He is indeed. Carson Richards has had a wonderful game. And the senior touches down. So is Roman Funkhauser. So Richards dived that one in. The try awarded, well deserved for him as well. The Gonzaga high school product.
Keep fighting, Orange. Come on.
Yeah, here he is on the replay. The Wildcats just a little bit flat-footed on that occasion, potentially taking their foot off the gas pedal a wee bit after going ahead by a few tries, but again, the Vols organised, and in the end it was all too easy for Roman Funkhauser. The number 8
under 4.
Try confirmed to that man, and Johnny, still time left on the clock if the Vols can get another quick one in.
Vols certainly didn't come here for nothing, as has been said in Braveheart. 4 minutes in the game clock. Kentucky 37-23 over Tennessee. Phillips puts that one up in the air. Little miss from the Volunteers. Was knocked forward into another player. I thought that they're going to be happy with that. It's going to be Everett Merritt's going to take that ball, moving it off to Keogh. Keogh moves it out to Hall. Hall, haven't seen as much of him in the second half, but he's still there. It is Jack Phillips, captain, director of the ship. Puts it up to Monnier. He's played a full run, the big number 3. A lot of fun to watch. Everett Merritt, a couple of steps there, looking towards the line. Spills the ball, comes back into Volunteers' hands. Merritt slow to get up. Knock-on advantage according to the referee.
It's over.
Hoofed back, so that will end that advantage. It was not a penalty advantage, so they're going to go high in the air. Kentucky players are going to have to retreat. Now they're onside. The Vols inside their own 22. 3 minutes in the game clock. Big double tackle.
Yeah, happy.
Can't really go to the pick and go game, and it's been stolen away by the Kentucky Wildcats. It's into the hands of Brendan Lynn. Brendan Lynn has had a unique couple of involvements in the second half. Ball comes out to Weeks. Weeks goes wide over the top. There is their room. Can they get there? In the hands of Keogh. Keogh works his way back in, but ball's going forward according to the referee. Referee looks at his watch. And has put time off for just a moment.
Time's off for your man.
Yeah, just a little bit of medical attention in the background, but kudos to the way this game's been played tonight. Great tempo, really entertaining. Haven't had too many stoppages, really. It's flowed at a good pace and seen some entertaining tries and good respect from both teams as well. It's always good to see. It's a brutal collision there on the number 20, Ted Naher.
Can you bind on the hooker safely? What?
Maybe a bit sore
They
to
might
mind.
not lack for physicality, that's for certain.
Okay, you good with that? I don't want to.
I can pull it up if I need to.
All right.
Referee asking one of the prop forwards if he's going to be okay to bind on to his hooker there. There's a bit of a right shoulder that's bothering him. Just to make sure he's going to be safe in here. Well done, as you see a volunteer put in late in this second half. Ball in, big cheers coming from the Wildcats sideline. Pressure there. Will the referee penalize one way or another? He will indeed. Players from the Wildcats have come out of that one for volunteers. They might have tried to go quick there.
That was a stop, Richard.
You're good.
Just go.
You're good.
No, it was loud. My whistle wasn't loud enough.
Bit of discussion between the players. So penalty against Kentucky will stand. Tennessee with O'Neal.
Hey, let's go.
A little over a minute on the game clock. Going to put that one downfield. Game most likely out of reach for this Tennessee team. An awful lot to be proud of. Their defensive line speed has kept this Kentucky team in check at times.
Certainly has, as you mentioned. University of Kentucky, defending champions, Johnny. So
Number 9, you're all right.
Tennessee to know that they can compete with the best.
Up into the hands of Bryson Shelton there. Bryson Shelton from Cincinnati, Ohio. Ball's back to Kentucky. One last opportunity possibly for post here. Phillips hangs it wide. They have to move that one around. Good defense again. It's in the hands of Keogh. Luke Keogh. They get to Timonier. A little more distance than he normally runs from the line, but he could have gotten there. The ball's up now into the hands of Reza. Reza spins out of one. He's a powerful fella. He gets just about 10 meters out. Weeks. Good delivery for Weeks. Ball's coming out into the hands of Rosson. He chips it towards the touchline. Did it go in or did it stay out of the try zone? It doesn't matter because the referee whistles for the end of this game. To the blue and white, they are true. The University of Kentucky Wildcats 37, University of Tennessee Volunteers 23. Friday Night Rugby Week 4. That is the final whistle. Thomas Wheels Grant, some final thoughts.
Yeah, really clinical game from the Kentucky Wildcats on their home turf, in front of their home fans. They wanted to put in a big performance, and they certainly did so tonight. And really, for me, it was that first half where they just really asserted their dominance, 27 points to 6 going in. Tennessee did a great job to come back in the second half, and we see here one of those individual efforts that got them off to a flyer. That was that man, Gage Curry, the second try here. A nice combined forwards effort in the engine room. That front row of the Wildcats put in an immense performance right across the board, deserving of the tries that they put on the score sheet. And here's another one right here. Lovely low pick and go, great technique. And in the end, just too much strength to go over the line on the second time. Here's a look at Tennessee. They had a bounce back. This was their first try of the game. They just did enough to get the ball down on the line. Referee in a great position to award that one. And Kentucky, again, that one a little bit fortuitous, but play on, said the referee. The assistant referee and the referee came together and said it was good enough. So number 13, that was Luke Keogh for that one. Tennessee here again in the engine room, where a lot of the tries tonight were scored in the end, Johnny. Number 8, Roman Funkhauser, had a fantastic game, I thought, on the opposition side, but a valiant effort for Tennessee, but the Wildcats too good and too strong at home.
Certainly a wonderful game. The Wildcats up with their fans, letting them know how much they appreciate them. That is it for us here in Lexington, Kentucky, from Elliott National Collegiate Rugby and Next Level Rugby. That man right there is Thomas Wheels Grant. I am John Broker. We thank you so much for joining us. It is Friday Night Rugby on the Rugby Network. Have a great rest of your evening.